is recorded, and the reason why we are recording that is to make sure our dear audience here at the Cloud Marathoner, from IT to DevOps, can enjoy this session later on. We know that's a bit odd time in Europe. It's like 10 p.m. ish. It's Friday
Yeah,
evening, so but I'm pretty sure people will come in. So I see that Alan was here,
yeah,
trying to join in. He's long term, one of the users who joins our sessions, Alan Florence, and there are some many more. But let's let's start this. So Martin, from your end, so go ahead, please. I know that you put a lot of effort into this. We work together to bring the session number two on AI
yeah.
ops. So what we are going to do? What's your you know uh, what is the, so to speak, kind of they call like synapse, or kind of what's the special about this session?
Yeah, I mean, good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, whenever who will watch the video later on. Let's call it like that.
Hmm.
So, yeah, previously we have a session about how to get started the people with the AI for DevOps, but now we are going a little bit, let's say, jump in to the topic, a little bit deep dive with a different explanation, different view, different use cases. And today, basically, it's basically for the DevOps professionals, where we will go through the topics about transforming of the IT operations in the DevOps way, together with the AI ops. So today's takeaway, I think that the people, or what one organization need to take care, let's say it like that, or to what the DevOps side need to take care about if they want to implement the AI ops within their organization. That's our main goal, I would say, here today. And yeah, as you said, it's a little bit late, but as we have the video later on, so all the people can watch that later and see the topics and the interesting things.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. So let's get started. And again,
Yeah,
thank you everyone who will be joining and maybe watching it later on. So you are
yeah,
very welcome to put your comments in
yeah,
our learning room. You are very
yeah,
welcome to do that. We are
yeah.
going to look for your comments. Let's
Yeah,
start.
we will share the video
Yes,
after on. Basically, from tomorrow, we will put the video in our group for those who are
nice,
there so they can see and share with the other people also.
great.
So, yeah, first of all, who are we? I think most of us in the group, they know us. We're the cloud marathoners, either within the teams, either around Microsoft Learning Room, either on LinkedIn. Everyone can find us. Also following the hashtag cloud marathoner, they can easily find all the latest news, if I may say like that. My name is Martin. My partner in crime, like Bonnie and Clyde, is my friend Elkan. So yeah, we are doing this journey together, if I may say like that. And our
Hmm.
main goal is just to share the knowledge with the people and share all the latest things that are happening. Both of us are working with topics related mostly Microsoft technologies, Azure DevOps, pipelines, DevSecOps, and all other topics. Let's say it like that. I know now it's famous with Azure. A lot
And
of
don't forget about infrastructure as a code, right? That's the
indeed,
main juice
indeed,
of the
yeah,
things.
yeah, bicep, indeed,
Yes, yes,
indeed, indeed. And
yeah, cool.
I think that's why I said it's a bunch or
It
millions of
is.
topics that all both of us are working on it, and mostly of them, if I may say, sometimes when somebody will ask you what you're working, I am easily can say, yeah, Microsoft related stuff, everything about Microsoft. So yeah, there is a lot of topic, a lot of knowledge in us, and we are willing to share and help to the people to either change their careers, grow in their careers, learn something new. We are always more than how to say happy to help to anyone that will request that from us. Either put a comment in our group.
Right.
It can be found easily either just type on in your browser MS Learning Room, Microsoft Learning Room. The group name is from IT support to the basically to become a cloud marathoner, cloud engineer, DevSecOps engineer. how you can call it, let's say it like that. But our journey really started as a IT support guys, if I may say like that, installing drivers, this and that, and we are now, let's say, on another level, as Elkan also mentioned now, as the most important infrastructure as a code, as the most used, if I may say like that, in the whole worldwide.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big journey in our past years of experience, where we can help to anyone that is willing to listen us, let's say it like that, and take advice from us. We're always open, so anyone that is willing, that just ping us in the group, put a comment. We are always there and online, and we can uh, answer as soon as possible there. So yes, that's a little bit about us, if I may say. Today the agenda, it's a little bit with a lot of topics. First of all, the most important thing is the AI skilling challenge that is happening around the world from Microsoft. And I think most of our people in the group has been, how to say, learn it or go through the challenge. But we are also sharing this for the new people that will join, that tomorrow they can also start and learn and explore a little bit about AI or ML or something else, because there is also three other different challenges on a Microsoft Learn page, but mostly is based because AI is something new. It's really good challenge, if I may say, for all of those who want to start learning and go into deep topic in this topic, because there is a fundamental training or challenge which is giving you really the basic knowledge, if I may say, for AI, what is happening, how this works, from where this answer is coming from when I send the question, blah 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 and blah blah, and a lot of other stuff, if I may say, how it generates the pictures, this, that, and so on and so on. So that's our main goal that we want to also give to the people, or Microsoft wants to give to the people as a new challenge, and to learn, gain new knowledge, and that's related with the most famous topic called AI in this, if I may say, this year, started from last year. So yeah, that's one of the main topics which we will see or share in the chat later on, the URL address. The other topics is AI plus operations, brighter future. What from DevOps AI Ops offers, the transformative power of AI Ops in the IT operations, why working in the AI Ops enabled companies a game changer, three-phase AI Ops landscape, who is using, and the cost impact. There is a lot of topics. With Elcon together, we will go just directly to the point, not just talking about this, that, and so on and so on. We are just strictly focused on the topics that are mentioned, which is really cover, if I may say, the whole picture of DevOps and IEOps together. Uh, so let's jump in the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the AI skilling challenge, the URL address, as I said, we will share it later on in the chat. So all of you can sign up, and as you can see even in the picture, it has Azure OpenAI services, machine learning, Azure AI fundamentals for all the people that are willing to learn something new, that don't know what is this, from where it's coming from, what is happening, how it works. So I would really recommend to go to Azure AI fundamentals, and
Hmm.
then to jump into something else like Azure OpenAI services, AI services, and Microsoft Copilot, and so on and so on. Of course, I can mention, yeah,
Yeah,
feel
and
free.
I'll just
Yeah.
add into that because we kind of mentioned that in the beginning. With AI skilling challenge, as Martin mentioned, you know, it might be that you may have some hesitation, right? Is it for me? Should I try it or not? I would say, yeah, it's definitely for you, because there is different levels where you can get started. If you are just from the beginner, you are in the beginner level, or you never tried it. As Martin mentioned, there's AI 900, which is the Azure AI Fundamentals, and I put the link in the chat in our rooms. You can click on it and get registered, so you can start there. If you already know AI fundamentals, but you want to learn more about generative AI, which is associated with Azure OpenAI, then there's another challenge where you can take it. If you want to take it to the next level, because you're a data scientist and you're already familiar with some modeling, and you want to do that type of stuff, there's another level for the machine learning challenge. And finally, there's like fourth one, which is more into the fabrics, Microsoft Fabric, and how you can, use those well integrated services in order to take your data analytics to the next level where you can integrate with AI services. Then you have that challenge there. But I would say don't get overwhelmed. This is the good thing about that. You just give it a try, and then by the end of that, you complete your learning challenge. Once you register, you'll be eligible to earn a free marks of the exam, so you can go and test your knowledge. And this is all, try to be relaxed on that. Don't get overwhelmed, because this learning process itself is a fun in terms of that there will be these things that would not work from the first time. You would get maybe even frustrated and confused. At that point, that's why we have this our Microsoft Learn channel room here. You can come there, put your question. You can always get the support of the community there. That's why we have Cloud Marathoner here. So don't forget about that, and good luck with your AI skilling challenge. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Elkan. Yeah, so let's go with the first topic, if I may say, our first topic or our main topic, let's call it like that. The starting point is the AI plus operations equals on the brighter future. Uh, I think it's really clear from this perspective, if I may say like that for me. But for those, let's say it, for example, they didn't watch our previous video, so all of you can jump into our group and watch the previous session, so the picture can be more clear. But just to give you a clue, let's say it like that, why AI plus operation is just because now, if I may say, it's a big data period, I'm calling that, where you have bunch of data and a lot of data within any company, either outside of the company. So now it's all about the data, where this data will go through, what it will happen, or how we can use maximum, let's call it like that, from this data. So also the AI ops in this case, or the AI plus operations, is also related to that. As we can see also on the picture, we have a data lake, which is a service within Azure, of course, in Microsoft Azure, for a big data. And that's the first workflow, if I may say, a stream, as it's written on the picture. And after we have the data, for example, as a technical solution, if I may call like that, you have a data lake, you put the data there, then let's see what we will do, how we will proceed. The next step is to do analytics or to check the data. What type of data is that? What is happening? Maybe it's a wrong data then. Somebody need to go through the data, analyze the data, and so on. So that's our next step, which is called step analytics, or as is as it's written on the picture, B. So we have analytics B, which is called the real-time models, where we are analyzing and checking what type of data we have there. The next step, number C, or letter C, sorry, it's called the anomalies. Basically, after the analysis, you find what is wrong with that data, what is happening. Is it the wrong data? Is it the correct data? What the data need to be removed, or this or that? We have a lot of things, let's call it like that. We have also some type of historical data also written on the draw as number E, as you can see, where we can make analytical models. Also, the analytical models and the real-time models, they have a fine tuning, which basically ends up in the operational intelligence as an end story, let's call it like that, where you have bunch of data or all of the data from your site, from your company, from your organization, where you can easily basically go and do analysis on it. And the most important, after you have the data, what is the next step? The next step is the remediation action, or do nothing, fix now, and schedule. I'm calling that very often takeaway. And we have three takeaways, if I may say, from this picture, which is data ingestion and collection, machine learning algorithms, automation, and orchestration. These are, let's say, the three takeaway topics, and the most important, if I may say, takeaway topic from all of these AI ops, if I may say, or AI plus operations, is the predictive analysis. Predictive analysis is basically the idea what can go wrong. So you don't need to sit down and just watch the data and go through all of this data. The algorithm or the technology itself can make a prediction for you because of this and this data, this can go wrong. Some type of a, if I may call as a use case where later on you can implement that use case in the other, let's say, type of data that you have within your company. Uh, the next thing that we have
Well, can
here,
I
it's
mention one thing,
yeah,
Martin, on the previous
yeah,
slide? So
yeah,
in
yeah,
addition to predictive analytics, also like predictive cost optimization of the resources also very big because as you know, in any organization, uh, wherever you have CFO, CFOs, like chief financial operators, they are worried
yeah,
about what's going to be the cost, right? And they want to have some in advance kind of understanding, is the way how operations go, are we going to, overspend or are we going to, stay within the budget? So it's really hard, to know that. But with predictive analytics, in addition to, having the AI and operations merging together using the power of AI, you can have some predictive way to know what the spend would be so that you can optimize your cost. You can maybe invest into reserved, instances in order to hit that, golden number and save on the cloud spend. And all these can, end up to be the, something that that your team is going to provide as a cost saving to your customers, which is a big win in this cloud world because most of the organization, as far as I know, sometimes they are really afraid from the cloud cost because they don't know how to monitor
yeah,
that, how to optimize it, how to manage it. But with AI apps, you get additional tools to be more precise in that and give that forecast for the, cloud cost based on how your growth of the application goes, how the growth of your users goes within the platform. This is really, insightful. Thank you.
yeah. Perfect. Thank you for this. Yeah. Basically, also after this, we can relate all this what from DevOps it will be related, or what from DevOps AI Ops offers, which is really the idea of the not exactly the cost optimization, but also the DevOps in the previous or when it started, it optimized a lot with the cost. Like not manual deployment, there is pipelines. We have release deployments which automatically trigger a lot of things, so you don't need to put people there and waiting for the night shift and till the normal people or normal employees finish their job, and then somebody need to deploy that manually and put the code somewhere. So also the DevOps, it fix a lot of things here where now we can easily schedule the pipeline or the deployment, and we can get also an alert, let's say after that on the email, if everything went okay and smooth or something failed, so you can immediately, let's call it, connect and fix that error and just restart the pipeline and so on and so on. Additionally on that, we can mention a couple of other things. I think for those who are working as a DevOps, they are familiar with this terminology, continuous monitoring. In this case, we have a real-time performance with the AI Ops, swift anomaly detection, instant alert for quicker issue resolution, deep dive root cause analysis, task automation, and again, predictive maintenance to prevent failures, performance and cost optimization, insights. So half of these topics, if I may say, for the DevOps people or for those who are working with on the DevOps way of working with pipelines and deployments are familiar with this. But as I said, there is a new one. For example, for me also, the Swift anomaly detection, the predictive maintenance to prevent failures. They are really new one, and I think they will give us a lot of help. If I may say F1, request help from the body in this case. So it will help really a lot to us, let's say, when we're in our daily work, because as I said, currently it is a lot of data, so we need to put the data and just use the data properly. Let's call it like this. So the monitoring and the predictive, I really think that it will help to all of us, and alerts. So all of these are basically really helpful for all of us, if I may say. And that's how also we think that AI ops in the DevOps, it's really related, these two topics, but also the AI ops, it's a little bit on the next level where you will get also prediction what is wrong, what can go wrong. Maybe the code of Elkan or maybe the code of Martin is not good, so he can
Yeah.
suggest you a solution like this or that, and so on and so on.
And
Any comment on
I'll
this?
just add into that, like
Yeah.
when we speak about, automation of the operations and everything, of course, you can say it's a DevOps, right? So because you have been
Yes.
in this field, you heard about that. So what AI ops does for the DevOps is basically, as Martin mentioned, it's basically uh, getting the insights from the data, operational data, and seeing, what expect in the future. That's all about. It's all about, getting this historical data, and then based on that findings, our models, AI models, will tell us, what to expect. And that can be not just about operations. It can be also about the cost, what to expect in terms of cost, what type of, and that would tell you in advance, do you need, for example, to have how many reserved instances, or how many specific, in advance investment you want to do now, so that you save in long term as a cost, running this, system for your customers or for your
Indeed.
internal IT organizations. Another part of it, as you know, Martin mentioned that maybe there is something wrong in the code, right? Maybe it's not optimal written. At that part, when we speak about AI ops, it's all about integrating those, AI enabled tooling into your pipeline. What it is, for example, if let's just give a simple example. Maybe you heard about that. Just Copilot on the VS Code, right? So once you have that type of tool enabled for your developers, then it can enhance their productivity by making sure that they can catch the bugs earlier in the code. They can have a better understanding what they're writing, and plus they can get the best practices from from the Copilot. Because what is Copilot? At the end of the day, Copilot is a model that has been trained based on all these GitHub repos, and based on the what's the good, what's bad, right? What's the good practice, what's the bad practice, so it can detect those, anomalies in your code, or kind of, fixes or hacks in your code, and make sure that they are not hacks. They are actually converted into a proper code that handles the situation, handles the operations. So that's, how you look at it. It's not just one tool or two tools. It's a mindset, I believe, AI ops, where you continuously reevaluate where you are, and based on data, you do the prediction. Based on data, you do your next step, because that's what the AI enables. It enables that continuous improvement in a way that the models are involved, in a way that, you get some insights from previous data, what needs to be done. Back to you, Martin.
Indeed. Thank you. It just remind me in my early ages when I was working as a IT support. I was
Yeah.
working for one company, just let's say a small story from my
Uh-huh.
personal experience. I was working for a Switzerland company, telecom operator, if I may say, with bunch of data, a lot of data. And it was the work was in a 3 shifts. So
Right.
during the night from 8 p.m. Eastern time, if I may say, the data
Mm-hmm.
warehouse was starting importing the data from one place to another. And there were
Yes.
processes. And I imagine in 3 a.m. in the morning or something after midnight, some process will fail because
Yes.
somebody from administration, he didn't enter Martin, he entered Martin, and there is no name with this data. And you need to find that basically the deep dive. You need to
Yeah.
find the process. Then you open SQL. Then you check the SQL. Oh, okay. Then you ask for approval that this can be modified, and they
Nice.
will give you approve after 1 hour, of course. And then everything is on standby. Then you fix
Yes.
that. You update that query in the SQL. Then you connect to the data warehouse, restart that process, and they were time on the how it's called on the time range related, let's call it like that. On every hour there was a separate process that need to be imported, and if you miss that and if you don't get the approval after 1 hour, that means the next 5 processes will fail.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
That's scheduled
I can
process, right?
imagine,
Yeah.
indeed. So I can imagine how much now it will help this type of a solution, to be honest with you. Even in the 8 o'clock, you just run this prediction and he will just quickly check and go through that model and say, here it's wrong, just
Mm-hmm.
straight ahead. So yeah, just I wanted to share from my, let's say, personal experience that I was struggling a little bit. And when I now think about this will be really helpful,
Helpful.
if I may
Yeah.
say like that.
Indeed.
Uh, as a big topic, I think all of us are aware. Also on the internet, if I may say like that. So why working in the AI ops enabled? It's a game changer. I think again, as all of us can see on the picture, it's related with anomaly detection, correlation and contextualization, optimization, task automation, and historical analysis. I think it's clear, or we can make immediately without reading the left side, the text, the context. We can even from the draw just understand that it's based on analysis, which means it will help us immediately either with the historical data, either with anomaly detection, either performance, either optimization, either task automation, which means immediately you can take this up and see that the AI ops is here just to help to the company. It's not
Yeah.
that like people are saying, "Oh, yeah, yeah, data, we don't know where is the data and la la la." So it will help us for this data to be really within the company. Of course, need to be secured and all other stuff, but mainly for the data to be really deep dive and analyzed, where it will give us a lot of hints, and it's really a game changer on a fast track within any company, and it will get really fast improvement in all the topics. I can mention just some of the topics on the left side. I mean, on the video that the people will watch, they can easily just see that, or we can share the slides afterwards. So we have reduced IT complexity, automation of work processes, real-time company infrastructure overview, which is really big benefit for any company. It doesn't matter even the size of the companies, it's small, big, middle. I think if you see real-time company overview of the infrastructure, it will give you the whole picture, how is configured, what is done there, who is using what, and so on and so on. Business continuity and productivity growth is maybe for the business, or for, as Elkan mentioned, the CFO, CTO, this type of
All the
guys, if I may
C-suites,
say.
basically, the
Yeah,
higher
yeah.
ups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything that starts on C,
See.
let's
Yeah.
call it like this, and it have three letters.
That's
So
true.
indeed, so AI Ops is really a framework where it can help also maintain the SLA, the service level agreement. I think it was the full name. So it's basic service
Mm.
level availability or agreement. I got confused. SLA,
Agreement.
strict
SLA is
SLA.
agreement, service level agreement.
Yeah,
You are
agreement,
right.
indeed.
Yes. Hmm.
So for those who don't know, so just it will give a clear picture, for example, how much you can guarantee to the company that the infra will be stable, the business will up and running. So all of this analysis can be even analyzed with the AI ops, depends, of course, of the data. Quick ROI, we have also where we can put a AI ops framework for improvement of the IT operations, and of course, related with the SLA, it can support the high service availability. Differentiation of the competitive landscape. The adaptation is not universal. Basically, depends of any organization, what they want to gain, what they want to implement. Let's say within the organization, they can easily basically standardize or implement that
Hmm.
easily. Users appreciate the rapid response of application and services, of course, where the natural outcomes of AI ops implementation, which of course it can help also for, as we said, the infra, the application, the services, the data. So all of this together as a one package, if I may say, and you get a lot of informations within the AIOps, just with implementation of one service, if I may say like that, it will gain a big benefit for any organization or any company. So that's why we think it's a big game changer. And of
Hmm.
course, it's a game changer, if I may say, personally, in my mind, of how I think it's a big game changer in the worldwide also.
Yeah, that's a great point, Martin. So I will let you to have a couple sips of water, because you're talking about
Thank you.
that. I'll take
Thank you.
from here and just say that these AI ops enable organizations. One thing that we need to keep in mind that is, you want to start small. You want to start small with a scope where you can show the value. In this case, we call like ROI, right? Return on investment, and you want to start with things where you have a clear data, you have some clear operational data that you can rely on, and use that as an input for your AI ops transformation. It can be just simply, looking at the scheduled jobs that, let's say, supposed to run every evening, and then from time to time you have some failures, right? So analyzing those things and looking at the root cause, and then feeding that data to your AI, making sure that it can predictively tell, based on those causes that maybe out of your actually, sometimes you can fix the things as organization, but sometimes you cannot do that because external factors, right? You can't do anything there. For that type of scenarios, having this, predictive analytics, especially on a failed jobs, how you can make it more kind of, I would say, some prediction in terms of what to expect. Let's say, should you expect the next 6 weeks to have a failure or not? And if it happens, what's your steps, right? So how you mitigate those type of things. So that's why I say every time, when you are embarking on a new journey, like, trying to apply AI ops in your organization or want to take it to the next level, start with a small scope task, identify, where you can bring the value, show the value to the organization, and then build on top of that success. But if you start with the very challenging situation where you don't have a good picture and you don't have a good data to support that, most probably you will have much more challenges in implementing that, and it can also fail at that point, right? So prepare, small preparation, making sure you are taking on a task to enable AI there in a way that you have the consistent information and everything to succeed, in order to show the early gains, early value to the company. Start small, make a small wins, and build on top of that. Back to you, Martin.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Indeed. Uh, AI stages, if I may say it like that, AI ops stages. The idea is to have a three-phased AI ops approach, and also, uh, as Elkan mentioned, also a small steps. Let's call it the baby steps. Just to see, to feel how it goes and what's happening, and then jump in. The first, let's say, phase is the prediction. The second is prevention, but also the third one is the automation. If we want to explore these topics on the left screen, on the bottom, as we can see, there is a five also stages, which are called training, automation, resolution automation, adaptation, and calibration. Basically, all of these are covered also in this three-phased approach, which covers all of these topics, if I may call it like that. So where you have the prediction of the issues before they occur, preventing impact of the end users, and automation and remediation and resolution. I mean, all of these are covered as a categorization, and these are a little bit deep dive just to see what is happening, where, what it goes, where, and so on. Also, if we see the circle, we can see that most of them, let's call it, are covered also in the DevOps. For example, I notice now the gray area, monitor, test, adjust, human oversight. Then we have adapt as users apps, starting baby steps, see how
Mm-hmm.
the people in the company will react, and then you can go a deep dive. Then we have automate data collection and triage. Of course, automation collect the label data to train the algorithm. So before you start and before you give these baby steps or the data to the people or to in your company, you need to train the model. So just to see how it works, what is happening, and then the other can start exploring, learning, and see how this works. So these are some basic, if I may say, or starting point, let's call it like that, for any company that wants to implement. And again, as Elkan mentioned, in such also new technologies and big things, if I may say, it always must go with the baby steps, small steps for any company. It doesn't matter if you're a huge company with 20,000, 50,000 people,
Yes.
always start with the baby steps. I can just say that a couple of weeks ago in my company, they started using Microsoft Fabric, and they
Mm-hmm.
wanted to use the Copilot, but they were checking, training the people. I think in the next 3 or 4 months, every
Mm-hmm.
day the people were just learning, checking, and now they just assigned to 5 people. 2 months from now to another 5 people. So the company is more than 20,000 people where I work. And I wanted to say, even for this company where there is no need to think about money or anything else, even they, carefully step by step. Let's see how it will go, the progress. Is it
Right.
positive? Is it negative? How will be the response from the people also? So it goes really small. It doesn't matter what type of company you're working on. So that's why I'm always saying for these new topics, I think it's the best to start very with the small and baby steps, if I may say it like that.
Yeah. And I will just add something here, Martin. Like
Yeah,
starting with the small baby steps, that's definitely the way to go. In addition to that, once you kind of complete that first stage or first phase, what we are implementing, always have some go backs. Have this
yeah,
kind of internal meetings to identify what went well, what didn't went well, because there would be the things. If you are actually doing something valuable, there will be mistakes. There will be things that
yeah,
team is learning from, and be open about that. Kind of discuss it so that the team and everyone learns from the mistakes, knows how to improve them, and make the next step, even more smoother.
yeah,
That's really important because when you hide the facts or you just try to show everything as a rosy picture, that's actually not how it works in IT.
yeah.
There's always bumpy road, there's always downs and ups, and you want to make sure that you learn from the downs. And even though when you are on the ups, keep in mind that there will be some downs, and you prepare yourself and team in a way that you get always prepared for that type of things, because that's just the nature of the business where we are.
Indeed, indeed,
Yeah.
that's completely correct and true, and I completely agree with you, to be honest.
Thank you.
Good. What we have next, we have, if I may say, the full landscape, if I may say like that, for AI ops, where we have four main topics, which are monitoring, ITSM, the data lake, and the pure play. As we said, even on the beginning, the AI ops also relates with the DevOps way of working. So we can see even on this picture here, the first step is the deploy, where we have the deployment releases like automatic or electric cloud. In between, if I may say, is the monitoring and the analysis. On the left line, in the left, what type of color is this? It's not gray, maybe gray, but not gray. Light gray, maybe.
Maybe light blue, bluish, depending how
Light
you see it.
blue.
Yeah. Or metallic blue.
Yeah, yeah, yes. Yeah, metallic blue. Yeah, maybe that's the best one.
Yeah.
So I would say that's the new, if I may say, also for all of us that are working in the DevOps or in the cloud industry, let's call it like that, because this is the piece in the puzzle that maybe it was missing. We were using a lot of code, infra as a code, pipelines, applications, services, this, but somehow always was tough to figure it out what is missing. And now I think we are completing this puzzle where we have also the data. So maybe we have the complete picture. Yeah, maybe there will be improvement in the future with something else. Let's call it like that. We don't know, but now in this era and this technical stack, if I may say, and how everything goes, I think from the automation, deployments, pipelines, and everything, we have now also the piece that was missing, the data. So now I think we can easily just automate the full process like on one line, just straight ahead and execute all of this. The next window, which it's next to the metallic blue, if I may say, is the application and services, which was there previously with the DevOps way of working. We have down also the network, and of course, it depends of the infrastructure, if it's on-prem, if it's cloud, depends of the organization. The fix at the end, we have here the manual fix, of course, if there is need to be fixed, but of course, with the how it's called, with the AI ops, of course, if we get on time the prediction, we will know exactly what need to be fixed
Yes.
where and what need to be added there. And I think now, and I think in the next couple of years, when it comes to AI ops, my personal view is that this will be the big picture, let's call it like that, the big full picture where it will get all the explanation, all the information, or how this works basically. You have deployment process, you have the data, you have the application and services network, or where this data will go, and then you have the fix. That's it, straight ahead, one line, four steps, or let's say four blocks, like on the picture, where you can easily uh, get through it. Then down on the bottom, the track one, as you can see, is the service now, or the BMC remedy is basically the issues or the remediation of that issue, if need to be fixed or what need to be done, and so on. Depends on the issue. Is it issue with the service? As you can see, it's through all four blocks, which means it can be issue with the pipeline, it can be issue with the data, it can be issue with the application or service, also network, but also in the manual process, maybe the person that is fixing, he don't know some of the latest technology, let's call it like that. So any type of issue is possible, and it's covered basically in our four blocks in this case. Yeah. Uh, any comment?
Yes, I'll just add something that really important, especially on the
Yeah,
streaming analytic platform. Just imagine an enterprise system where you have like millions and millions, data that's streaming. It can be your security signals, it can be your alerts, it can be your notifications, whatever you want. If you just rely on human beings, and even in automation system, there are very easily missed certain things, very critical stuff can be missed. But with using AI apps and learning module, it can quickly enhance your team's capability to remove the noise and just to focus on what's the important, what's the critical issues. And at that part, once you have this really robust system that can remove the noise from all this information that's coming through the pipeline in your enterprise system, and just focus on those critical issues to be fixed, then you may focus on remediation process, how to automate that, and how to basically and if you don't have it, just get into the picture that what you need to build in the system in order to be able to handle them automatically, and add the efficiency in your system to handle those critical edge situations. That's where the AI apps and the AI models are shining, because as a humans we have certain capacity no matter how many team members you have. But with AI enabled tooling and systems in place, now you have this I would say kind of superpower, so to speak, in your team to deal with those situations. That's the beauty of that. Back to you, Martin.
indeed. Indeed. Thank you, Okan. Indeed, as the next one, we have the who is using AI ops and why. As you can see, this nice, if I may say, draw or nice diagram, let's call it like that, where we have a lot of topics mentioned on it. And basically, the whole idea is, let's say, uh, the AI ops is embraced in the different teams like DevOps or SRE or IT Ops or FinOps or DevOps or GitOps, DevSecOps, Cloud Ops, Service Ops, and so on and so on. Basically, we can see that the main or together thing in the between is the data centric or the AI Ops team. Why? Because BizOps, IT Ops, FinOps, DevOps, they're all about CI/CD pipelines. Is it improvement of the operations? Let's say it like that. Lower cost or provide some compliance. We have hybrid cloud management like Azure Arc, let's call it like that, in the Azure. We have basically what is missing depends of this technical stack. What was missing is the data. In this case, with AIOps, we are really getting into it and we get the data there where we can now, instead of just focus on the services technical stack, we get the data and again, we get the full picture. Sorry, we get the full picture in it and basically we can align with all the others, if I may say, teams, capabilities, depends how it's called in all companies, it's different. But if they have BizOps, if they have FinOps, DevOps, DevSecOps, whatever, the data is the crucial part, critical part in this case, where it should be delegated just to the proper team, let's call it like that, and they can easily get the data and just execute through their flow. Let's call it like that, like we saw the flow in the previous slides. So it doesn't matter what type of team it is, the data can be just processed within the needed team in this case.
Yes,
Yeah,
and I will just add what Martin said. So once we have this data centric organization, then depending on which departments you have in your organization. As Martin mentioned, it can be
Yeah,
business operations, IT operations, financial operations. Then once you have this actually uh, I would say well organized data where you have a clean data that departments can act upon it, then you drive the next level of efficiency within your organization. And that's where you connect the each departments in a way that, you tune up this machine, so to speak, enterprise machine that's, bringing the value to your customers in a way that, you are acting upon a data, you are getting, good clean data from different parts of the system, different components of the system, so that you can consider, a solution that's going to be holistic for your organization and that's bringing value to your customers. Back to you.
indeed, indeed. And yeah, I think the next one is almost the last one, and I think the most important one because it's about the money or the cost and what's the impact. Of course, the cost impact, it's always about the goes beyond the technology, cost reduction. So the business, let's call it like that, these people that their title is starting on C and they have three letters like CTO, CFO, they should consider basically the qualitative benefits like flexibility, risk reduction, prevention, and faster anomaly resolution. I think this anomaly will get as a sales speech. I think this will get. I think also can initiate on their side that they can just say to you, or if you're a team lead, they can easily improve. If you say, yeah, they will. It can be, give us some information about what can go wrong and blah. Really, blah blah blah. Some sales speech, good one. So I think it will work for any company where it's needed. Additionally, I would say here, as we can see on the picture, that AI ops also optimize the revenue, customer satisfaction, protects brand reputation, and so on, a lot of other things. But the most important, if we go from bottom to the top, we can see that it started with the automation. Then all of us, I think, we started to try to integrate everything in this automation. Let's automate this, let's automate that, let's automate everything if possible. Of course, then we created a patterns, if I may say, for example, classical pattern, if I may say it like that, at my daily work. For example, when I need to create a different pipeline and to test something, I use the previous pattern, just copy, duplicate, and so on. So I use the same pattern as I was using in my previous pipeline, just from technology perspective. But the idea is that you don't need to create everything from scratch. You can just take the pattern and copy from the previous one. Then we have the change in the incident correlation and of course event data normalization and enrichment, where it came, and as you can see with the red dot, the AI ops is completely going from the blue one, which is the tools integration, and AI ops can be integrated, as we discussed in the previous slide, with all of the different teams. Mm, doesn't matter what type, what is the name of the team, and so on. It can be integrated, also can work on a pattern, can get the change in the incident correlation, and of course, event data normalization, which means then the AIOps, it's on the top. So that's really the biggest, if I may say, cost impact in the AIOps. Of course, I think uh, doesn't matter who will use, how it will use, or you need to convince somebody. I would say the most important is to just prevention, anomaly detection, and basically this type of a resolution, also anomaly resolution. I think this trick will work. And it's not a trick, that's the reality. It will work based on your data. It can give you some type of, let's say, resolution or solution about the issue that can go wrong.
Okay, yeah, that's all valid points. I'll just add that AI ops is all about, getting all these good practices that you already have in the company, and then, adding the, power of data to take it to the next level. Right, that's all about. For example, as Martin mentioned, of course, you need to have initial steps of automation set it up, right? So, if you are talking about the organization that's already I mean, if the organization doesn't have this already DevOps mindset, talking to them about AI ops is going to be obsolete, because you need to marry those together. And when we speak about DevOps, it's about, uh, bringing the operations, right? Bringing the uh, operations and continuous improvement into the picture where the whole organization can benefit from that. That start with automation. Of course, you need to have right tooling to do the right thing and have the integration, bring the fruits of that automation all together into one basket. And then of course you have to build on top of what went well, right? So what's working, good patterns, anything that you already automate and use the pipelines, how you can reuse them in a way that you can continue this good pattern of productivity for your team. But at the end of the day, once you are finished with DevOps in terms of all these good practices, then the question comes up, okay, what's next, right? At that point, if you harness all that data from different components of your organization and the process, right? The workload where you are giving value to the customer, and then clean up that data and make the AI model to give you some prediction in terms of, well, how to optimize the workloads into the next level, right? What are the additional optimization you can add into the system and into the process? What are the predictive, as a maintenance that you can add so that you have less outages, less downtime in your system? And finally, how you can predict the cost in advance so that you can invest properly into the long-term cost saving measures, like it can be reserved instances if you are using Azure VMs. It can be data storage that you predict that there will be a big jump in data consumption and data utilization for the project. So all in all, AI ops is something that you top like a you put a cherry or cream on top of your DevOps process. If you don't have them in place, if they are not, solid, then it's not gonna help. Just, try to understand that and try to convey that message to your, team members, to the leadership that without proper DevOps discipline within your organization, integrating AI ops is not gonna work. It's not gonna bring those desired change. It's all start from the DevOps, building organization into that mindset, and then moving to the next iteration, next phase of that, which we call AI ops, that brings that predictive maintenance, predictive cost optimization, and all those things that human beings in general are not good at, because it's about dealing a big chunk of unrelated data, which in fact are related somehow. But that's why you need the module in place. That's why you need to have some analysis and good understanding of your data in order to get those additional optimizations that are going to drive your business to the next level. Back to you.
This was a good one, if I may say. I will put here also one topic, additional one note, which I'm really facing in the last couple of months within our or my organization where I work. It's called awareness. I think that's also one big topic that the people, as you said, also for the DevOps way of working, if the team is not working or not work on that way, let's say it like that, AOps is really, it will not give any big value or they cannot do that anything. But
Yes.
additionally, I think to start with doing that, or if some of the organization didn't start that, maybe it's good to mention that also the awareness of the people, how they do, what they're doing, and how they're proceeding. I think it can correlate with all of these topics.
Which brings back to us to the skilling challenge, right? That's where we are going
Indeed,
now. Yes.
indeed, indeed, indeed. And yes, I think we mentioned a lot of topics, if I may say. Maybe, yeah, I think we are human. We can make some mistakes. So we forgot to put as a final conclusion, maybe. But I think for those who will watch the video, maybe they have a lot of takeaways, and basically. Let's call it that for next time we will not forget to put a final conclusion. Let's say it like that. But as you said also that we are going to the AI skilling now challenge that is still in progress on the Microsoft website, and I think the link is in the chat, so all of you can start exploring and do the stuff there. Of course, the what I really like it, except the challenge, Microsoft has created a couple of months ago AI Learning Hub. where even you can see on the picture that you can basically learn AI based on your role. For example, if you are not interested in some topics, you can easily just see, I want to learn for this. That's it.
Yeah.
You can just focus on the, as even I think Elton mentioned on the beginning, you can just focus on the specify things just specifically to this, to do, to, or that. There is also the credentials for AI, learn by technology also, if you refer. And of course, you have a lot of options that you can go learn live show also. You have from Microsoft a lot of videos, a lot of documentation, if I may be honest. Even sometimes it's missing. You cannot follow all the, let's say, these links. So sometimes I think it's missing one RSS feed for us just to get these topics and just you can easily go through it. But for those also who want to learn, as I said, you have a lot of things to explore. Microsoft is doing a lot of new things related with this AI just to help people to gain this knowledge and to have this knowledge, let's say it like that. And the most important, if I may say, it's all everything here, it's for free. You can just click here and you get the needed information. You don't need to put the debit card or
Yes.
credit card, anything. So you can just go through it and just start any journey that you're willing to learn.
And I will
Indeed.
just add into that what you mentioned, Martin, is another big thing that everybody should know is that it is just early stages of it, meaning that you are not missing anything. So don't get overwhelmed that, oh, there's already this thing, that thing, I'm going to catch up and stuff like that. No, don't stress out about that. Just start small, start learning the thing that you see usable or very, kind of helpful for your job, for whatever
Yeah,
you are doing, so that you can get the benefit right away. It will hook you up to that topic, and then you can learn even more, because once you start using them, I'm pretty sure there will be things that you don't know, and you will just dive level deeper and deeper and deeper, and then one day you'll be an expert for sure, because you invest your time and you are using that technology. So our advice for you is just start small, start using the thing that you find helpful, as Martin mentioned. Just progress in that, channel, in that kind of topic, and then expand whenever you see there's a need. And don't get overwhelmed. Try to make it a little bit fun, which is a little bit hard, easy to say, hard to do, making the learning fun. But if you approach that way, you'll, be very thankful for yourself down the road, maybe a couple of weeks after that. It was challenging, but you succeeded. So kudos to you. Kudos to the will that you have in place
yeah,
to make it happen. Yeah,
yeah.
let's continue. Yeah,
Good. Yeah, we have the conclusions.
yeah,
I mean, from this, of course, the most important is for those who are willing, of course, as we mentioned even on the beginning, join our group, join that community. I think because of my a lot of windows, I can quickly maybe open just to show how it looks. I mean, from IT support to DevSecOps, we have a lot of topics and sharing with the people blog posts or some new things with the people that are willing to learn. Some of the groups we are still, for example, the mission control and the spotlight, we are still exploring what we need to put there. So we are just not, how to say, copy paste from Google and put it in that group. First we want to explore, do this magic, and then easily, as you can see, the last post, I think it was, yeah, for me, I was exploring last week or 2 weeks ago the security copilot. So how you can configure that, what you can do, and so on. We can share and connect, of course. We have solver corner. If somebody has some issue or he is willing or he wants some help, we are always open, as I said, also as a community. Currently, I think we are around more than 300 people here. So feel free to join us. And yeah, more than 300, as I said, basically 327, which is a good number so far for 2 months, or no, almost 3 months, sorry, actively. And I think it's every month 100 new we are getting, so that's a good one. But as I said on the beginning, our goal is not just to increase the number, we just want to help to the people, and if they join, they can get this help, let's say it, or they can get our comment, opinion about any type of thing that they're interested. As we mentioned, of course, on the beginning, we have a lot of knowledge. We started as a normal IT support guys, and now we are talking about AI ops. So from installing drivers on printers till AI ops and data and infra as a code and blah 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 blah. So I think everyone will understand that this is a big journey, and basically everyone that is willing to get our help, don't shy to ask, and please or feel free and join our group.
Yeah, I will just
Uh,
add into that saying that it's a cloud marathon community that's we extended to the Microsoft Learn Room here, so you are welcome to join. This is a free membership. It's a free
yeah,
membership. You join, you don't have to pay anything. Thank you, Microsoft, for putting that infrastructure there and inviting us to be a part of it. I would just say that take that into the next level. Invite your team members,
yeah,
invite the people that you know into this so that they learn with the crowd and we succeed together. And if you have something to present, let us know. Thank you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And as a final note, if I may say, here it is the sessions that we were basically doing. The last one was last week. So again, you can find that in our channel and you can watch again. Or for those who didn't watch, they can press the video there and just watch it. This video also will be shared after this session. And basically, feel free again. Maybe sometimes I feel boring, but for learning a new stuff, I said, yeah, I will be bored very much or very often, but just to insist and to the people to gain some new knowledge because it's a really a big topic. It's happening, and I really want to. Let's say I will be happy if everyone or 80% in our group said, "Yeah, we went through the challenge." And as a bonus, guys or boys and girls, you will get a voucher for taking an exam from Microsoft. So I think free membership, free challenge, free voucher.
Yeah, what do
I
you
think
want
three
more,
in one.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Three
yeah,
in
yeah.
one.
Yeah. This is free
uh,
and advertisement, if I may say, like the coffee Nescafe 3 in 1, 3 in 1. So this is the same 3 in 1 from Microsoft.
cool aid or whatever.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But yeah,
So yeah,
I will just add something here, Martin. We got a
yeah,
message from Alan Florence. Thank you for being part of this group. We know
yeah,
you for years, and he put the message saying, "Where are the videos? Previous videos that have been there."
yeah.
So I would say they have been
Here
recorded.
it,
They are
yeah,
here
sorry.
in the channel. Can you show them just please? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, here it is. Basically, you can just, yeah, there is a lot
scroll
of
up,
meetings, but yeah, scroll up because of this. And here
recording.
it is the second video, and we have one more video here, the first one. So you can start with this one and then just open. There was a bug in Teams. Now this week was recognized or published on internet. So last time when we were doing the session, we started the recording, and somehow in mid of the session when Elkan was talking, it stopped automatically and
Yeah,
automatically started a new recording. We found out that it's a bug, so Microsoft is working on it. But I see that this recording is going so far very good, didn't stop anything. So I
yeah.
think the bug is already fixed. So in the general site in our group, Alan, you can go and just see. I think it's the last one. Yeah, that's the last post. So under the meeting, easily you can just click and check basically also the other challenges here, if you're willing to go through, and also the video, it's on the beginning, and basically you can watch it afterwards. Yeah,
Awesome. Yeah.
yeah, and this video
And
will
what
be
we can
published
do,
also.
Martin,
Yeah,
just kind of to add what you say, we'll try also to post the first and second part of this AI skilling, AI ops presentations and sessions that we
yeah,
had with Martin. I'll try to combine them into one post and put the links there. But yeah,
yeah,
the ask from the community at this point is that I'm pretty sure you started your challenge. Please keep us posted. How is your challenge going? What you are learning? Are you close to finish your challenge and hopefully qualify for that free exam voucher? Time is ticking. It's 19th of April, I believe, the deadline. You need to
yeah,
finish your challenge. And don't get overwhelmed again. Just read the material. There's like at the end of the module, you have some questions that you need to answer. Maybe you wouldn't know all the questions correct. That's fine. It's part of the learning process. It's okay to make mistake. Just move forward and go to the next module and you'll be fine.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes, that's all on our end. So I'm going to
Yeah.
stop the recording here. Thank you everyone again for joining and being part of this great evening here,
Yeah.
at least on the East Coast, and as well as Martin.